Okay, we're going to go live again here, see what happens. Ron should give me a message here. If we can't get it going, then we're just going to have to cancel for tonight. We'll see what happens. He should be getting his notification soon. Hopefully everybody else will get their notification soon, and we can get this going and see what's going on. Ron says I'm on. Jeffrey, Valerie, Janet, can you see me? Yes, we're back. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? Okay. Could you hear the music in the pledge? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the pledge and play the music again, and then we'll be back. Got to pull it up here, so bear with me a minute. I don't know what happened the first time, but something did, and we just wasn't able to do anything, so I had to reset it.
Things and mixing up names. You need to know the elephant tree. It brought my memory back.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt as love is there. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt about this. God bless the USA. Next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless
Yes, God bless the USA. Proud to be an American. All right. We got Betty and Myrna and Jeffrey, David and Janet, Ian, Valerie, Carol, and if I missed anybody, John's here. Good to see. Good to see. Good to see some wrenches in here tonight. Guys, I have no idea what happened on the first try, the first go around. I have no idea. All I know is it just didn't work. Ron was telling me, but you know, like a dummy, when Ron told me it was just twirling, I was asking you guys, can you see? Then I got hey, a light bulb went on in my head, and I decided to send you messages, and we could communicate that way. And once we did, we was able to get out, get back on, and hopefully everything's going to go good. And I have no idea why it happened like that, because we have absolutely just a gorgeous day here today. The day is in the 70s with sunshine and very little wind. It's just a total beautiful, almost fall day, if you understand what I mean there. But I'm sure we're going to get the heat again. And I love heat. I do. I love the hot weather. But boy, we went through a spell that we just had too much. And I mean, 1 minute it'll be raining, and the next minute what we've went through, guys, we went through at my grandson's ball game, a little bit of thunder, no rain, no lightning. And there was can't think of what they're called. They're real pretty in the sky. Help me out here. I'm having a brain fart. Huh? Yeah, there was a rainbow completely across the sky. Just absolutely gorgeous for the whole game, and we never got one drop of rain. The other day, I'm sitting here at Ron's house, and it's raining so hard, we could not, looking out the living room window here, we could not see across the street to the house. That's not even 350, 400 feet away of that. We couldn't see the house. It was raining so hard. The sun is shining like crazy, and there was no rainbow. I'm telling you, they can tell me all they want. They're not controlling things. That's bullcrap. They're controlling it. I don't care what anybody, and this is my opinion, and everybody knows my feelings about opinions. We all, just like what you said on, we all have one. Tony's here now, and I think I said hi to.
I can't chat tonight.
Ron can't chat tonight. Something's wrong. I don't know what's going on.
I can read the chat.
He's reading it, but he can't answer back. So there were some things happened over the weekend. First of all, before I go into the kids section, I'm going to keep the kids section short since we got a late start because of what happened. And what's weird about having a late start because of what happened is I'm taking care of my daughter's 2 dogs, and I drove a little bit over the speed limit coming back to make sure I got here on time. And I was like 20 seconds, 25 seconds late getting started. So I thought I did a tremendous job only to get here and then it be taken away from us. But that's okay. Ron says hello, Janet. But as I said, I hope everyone had an amazing weekend. There is some good news. There's some things I want to talk about. And I'm not real happy with some things because I seen something on a show last night that really appalled me. I mean, it really showed how greedy people are. It really did. And I'm going to talk about that. But first, I want to talk to the kids, Patriot Super Jimmy and Patriot 11, Patriot Wyatt Earp and Patriot Karate Kid, Patriot Princess, our queen, Patriot Hunter, her brother, who was also a tremendous young man. We just don't give him the credit that we give her. Patriot Little Leona, who she's starting to get into things and she's starting to dance and she likes her TV along with Patriot. Little Leona, and I wanna say to Patriot little Leona that tell Grandma happy anniversary. They just celebrated the anniversary the other day, her and her husband. Um, Patriot Boogie, Bugs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo, 4 amazing kids. One of them's a teenager, and they grow way too fast, don't they, John? Way too fast. You know, and then finish it off with Patriot Super Gymnast, Patriot 7, Patriot Little Monkey, Patriot Small Hank, and Patriot Kira. I haven't heard a lot from them, but the little monkey was sitting in the room where they're on vacation at, and she smiled at Mommy and said, "Mommy, take a picture." And Mommy took a picture, and she said, "Now send it to my grandpa." That's what I got from her today. She always seems to take care of the picture of me. And here's a little video, little pictures of the beach they're at. They seem, I guess they're having a good time. I don't know. The picture, and then I've sent them a couple of pictures of their puppies because I do miss them. And I know they're both missing the kids and Amber, because the one is, it was a gift. It was a puppy that they got. Its name is Hunter, and they give him a puppy for Valentine's Day, and he's a tremendous little pup. But kids, I was laying in bed this morning, kids, and I got thinking of all the things we want to do with you kids, and get that ranch where we can have you come there and you can learn how to ride horses. We'll have people that are experts that will teach you. And I was hoping it was going to be Patriot 11, but haven't heard from him for a long time. But that doesn't mean we won't. But I just got thinking, and I was talking to Patriot 7 the other day, and I says to him, I said, he wanted to put everything money. How much money are we going to get? I have no idea. I mean, in my head, I have numbers rolling around in my head like crazy, and it's astronomical, but, we don't know for sure. I am going to read something tonight about money. So kids, if you're watching and you want to know a little bit, stay tuned, stay on. I don't expect for any of my grandkids to be on, and Jimmy, you might be on. I don't know. But, I'm not thinking Jimmy comes on the shows much, because I would think the way he chats on our Telegram channel, he would be in here chatting with you, with everyone here and that. So we'll see what happens. But, I guess my best message I can give all you kids is to be kids, to just enjoy being a kid, to enjoy getting out there and having fun. And, I was talking, and I mentioned this on last Friday's show, but I was talking, and I said, when I was a kid, we was outside all the time. With weather like we're getting now, I mean, we were brown. We were tanned. And the only place it wasn't tan is where we wore the shorts, because we never, as boys, we never wore shirts unless we was at a friend's house and we went in the house just for a little bit, because when we were growing up, if you was hanging out with friends and they was ready to eat lunch, you didn't even have to ask. They just asked you. You went, you had lunch with them. The same thing down at my mom's house. And when my friends found out my mom was making fried potatoes for lunch, oh my goodness, we had to. Every one of my friends was down there telling, and it even got to where the girls would start coming down for my mom's fried potatoes. That was always my favorite meal growing up, But we got out and we played, or we went walking. We went swimming in the creeks. Back when you could go swimming in the creek and you didn't have to worry about things. Oh, you might get a crawdad that might crawl up your leg, or one might get on a girl and they go crazy and they're in the water, and you want to talk about splashing, let a crawdad get on a young 10, 11, 12-year-old girl. They always said there was leeches, but of all the times I was in the creek, I never got one on. Huh? Neither. Ron said he didn't either. So, it is what it is, but we're just, I read an article the other day, kids, and the article says our generation that I came from, there'll never be another one like that. And I don't believe there will, because see, you kids, you make fun of people like me and Ron. You make fun of people like maybe Bill Woods and Janet, that more about the computers. More about the cell phones. More about all of this other stuff. But it wasn't for us. You wouldn't have it because we invented them. Maybe not so much me, or maybe not so much Janet or Michael. I'm Michael James. Maybe not General Lee or that, God, could you imagine if General Lee would have been part of the one that invented the cell phones? We'd have had them when we was kids, Janet. What do you think, John? We could have had them. Myrna, I seen that picture with you and your husband today. I don't know if you got my comment, but them were glory days, wasn't they? They were glory days, and you just look so amazingly happy. So, kids, my message to you is just be kids. Because, you want so much to be grown up, and then when you get grown up, you want to be a kid again. I can't wait for these beds, kids, so I can go back. I can't go back to when I was a kid. But, I don't believe in me, the kid ever left me. I feel right now the way I joke around and the things I say to people and the things I do, I believe I'm as much of a kid now as I was. It's just that I'm a 71-year-old kid. I was in a store yesterday, and there was these two cute little kids in the cart, and I walked up and I said, boy, you're about as cute as any little kids I've ever seen. And I started teasing them and playing, and I said, excuse me, I'm sorry. And I looked at the mom and I said, is it okay that I talk to your kids and tease them in that? They said, oh my God, they're enjoying it, because most people are so afraid to talk to kids. Well, you have to be, because there's certain parents out there that they just as soon throw you in bed, not in bed. Shoo, whoop. No, that's wrong. throw you in jail just because they can. Isn't it funny that people, and I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this for the big people. But kids, all I'm asking you is just be kids. Jimmy, get outside and go play. Patriot 11, if you're watching, go out and ride your horse. Go out and, by now you're a little older. All them girlfriends you used to have, go out and hold her hand. Take her for a walk. Buy her a soda. In my days, that was a date. You take her to Charlie Fisher's Tavern and you buy her a bag of Chesty Ruffled potato chips and a pop, and it cost you a whole whopping quarter. And she thought you was a big spender. She didn't know I had to go collect about 12 or 13 bottles to get that quarter, but I did. No, I was a paper boy back then, so I always had a little money. But it is what it is, kids, and there is so much fun outside, off the TV, off the cell phones. I'm so tired of seeing kids 10, 11, 12 years old, always like this. No, get outside and play and be kids. And that ends my craziness for the kids tonight, trying to get them to do something that I know they're not going to do. Eventually they will, but right now, And it also comes down to the parents. You know, when I'm watching my grandkids, Papa, can I have the tablet? If it's winter out, Dad, I'll let them have the tablet. If it's nice weather, I said, nah, let's go outside and play. You know, the one thing I say about Patriots 7, little Liam, he loves baseball. He'll go outside and he'll throw the ball against the garage, throw it on the roof. We fixed him up a little mound where he can act like he's pitching. You know, I want to get him a screen. I got him one, but it wasn't. They sent the screen, but they didn't send the support for it. So all it was just a net. So, you know, I'm going to get him a new one. Matter of fact, I think Uncle B is going to get him one. My son, his uncle is I think Uncle B is going to get him one for Christmas, and he's going to be one of the older kids in the league this year, and he could be a really good pitcher. So we'll see what happens and that. So that's where we're at, guys. Kids, just go out and play, have fun. You know, don't make your mom and dad miserable. Your mom and dad love you with their whole hearts, but you know they need a little break too. They need you to just go outside where they can. Like when I was growing up, I'd go outside and play. My mom and dad would sit at the kitchen table and drink coffee and just talk. And you know that was good when they would do that. So that being said, that's going to end tonight's kids part. Now remember, the music that I played tonight, we have no legal rights to it. We do it for entertainment purposes only. And this video is not meant for kids, even though we have a segment. We love it when the kids is on. So that being said, let's move on to the show. Well, I, for one, have to get something out of my system. I have to say it because what I saw yesterday, it was wrong. I just happened to be scrolling around and I found a video, live video. I watched it. It was with, I won't mention names, but it was with a blonde-haired woman who likes people to believe that she knows more about the med beds than anybody, about the special beds than anybody. And I got in on the conversations and asked her a couple of questions and just went right over her head. Never attempted to answer a question of mine. Which I'm okay with that because, you know, if she was to come on here and I was to see her question in chat, I'd answer it. But see, as I'm watching on my cell phone, right up in here on the page that she was on, there was a little, I don't know what it was. And I said to Ron, I'm going to check on it. I'm going to click on that and see what that is. Hope it don't cost me nothing. And it don't. You actually have to donate it. But she was taking donations to do this message, this video that had absolutely nothing in it that you can't read on the internet. I think that's where she's getting her information. I don't know. And I started scrolling down, and people, to get their questions answered. And, you know, some of them wasn't even asking questions. There was a man on there yesterday, and he says, I'm sick and tired of not having any money. We need to make this happen quick. When do you think we can get it to happen? I don't have any money. But yet, this man went and donated 75 XRP. I counted them all. She got over 3,500 XRP yesterday in her account to do that show. At the time, XRP was at $3.49. She made over $12,000 just at what it is there. And then I go on today and I see the hat says that someone is about ready to do something, and it's going to be billions of dollars coming into it. And then something else is going to happen where there's going to be trillions of dollars. And XRP literally is what the article said, can go from $3.60 to $10,000 over the next week to 2 weeks. So if that happens and she got $3,500, but here's the thing I just mentioned, our president made this statement, what it could go to over the next week or 2 weeks or sooner. But he's also said anybody using people to take money from, to make money off of the people will be dealt with. Boy, if that person isn't dealt with, then nobody, where are we making strides if we're allowing people to go out there and just literally, you want information, you pay for it. The same person today posted, well, it's official. My appointment will be set as soon as I go to the Redemption Center. Everybody who has Zim, from what we're being told, will go to the Redemption Center and their appointment can be set then. She is utilizing people. She is taking advantage of people. And I hope and pray this gets to her. And I hope and pray she calls me out, because I'm being very nice here. I would really like to tell this woman. She's bragging about she bought a ranch. How? Oh, yeah. When you make $10,000 on one show for saying nothing, it's pretty, And see, guys, I don't have to talk about this, but I want to warn you, don't go giving anybody any money for information, because most of the people out there are just like me. They don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about what you're getting them. Their people are getting her information. When these people say, well, I got a guy, I know a guy. Well, I know a lot of guys. But that don't mean they know shit. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. Kids, forgive me. It doesn't mean they know anything. What it means is they're taking advantage of you. And I'm going to read some things tonight. And this is getting to where it's really bothering me. Not that they're doing it, that they're allowed to do it, but our president said it can't happen, and he's allowing it to happen. A lot of these truthers are just mainstream media news. They don't care how many lies they tell. They don't care what they say, as long as cha-ching keeps coming in their pockets. And you're going to see a true example tomorrow night of it. Maybe he'll give us the 800 number, but let's get in a good mood. I had to get that off my chest. I want to tell everybody, please, on a different note, keep prayers going for Stephanie Strout. She's going through some rough times with a family member. I try to stay in touch with Stephanie every day. Linda, if you're on the call, I'll give you an update of what she's told me recently. But we need the beds. We need the beds. We need the money. What would you want first, the money or the beds? I think if you took that to people, half would say the money and half would say the beds. If you took it to people that would have bad health, all would say the beds, and a few would say the money. Thank you, Janet. I knew I could count on you. Bobo, you got some yellow dragons today. Wow, how many did you get? You mind sharing? I got a bunch of them too. Boy, Bobo, I'm really hoping them come in. Like Wolverine says. Now, Wolverine does say, get ready, it's going to happen, but, So I told you guys I got kicked off of Mike Barra's. I hope they are too, Russ, and that is really amazing. That is really amazing. If you guys didn't see what Russ, I think his name is Kaiser, he said, I bought 100 Bolivar notes for 75 USD, and I handed out 90 of them to people who helped me. I hope they are all authentic. I've really not heard anything, Russ, about any of them being I mean, I was driving home tonight. As I told you, I had to go over and take care of my daughter's dogs until the girl that's going to spend there the night got back. And I'm driving back, and I got thinking, I'm going to read here in a little bit some stuff about the currencies. Bear with me here. See if I can find that one thing I was going to read, and if I can, I'll. Maybe I didn't send it over. I guess I didn't send it over, so I do remember some of it. It was talking about dinar is going to be $6 to $8. Dong is going to be $4 to $6. Zimbabwe 100 trillion notes is going to be 33. It's going to come to 33 million if you have a 100 T note. The Zimbonds, not the Argo checks, they're for 100 trillion, 100 billion. I don't remember what it was. Whatever they are, I don't remember them are in billions or trillions. But for, I think it's billions, they're going to be right at 33,000 or 33 million for each one. The one that I was impressed with, and this would go back to Russ, what he just did today. The Bolivar is going to be between $4 and $8. And if they're even just $4, I have not heard anything about phony ones on them. And $4 when he just bought for $75 100 of them. I mean, that would be 300 million if he'd have kept them all, or 400 million. Each one would have been worth $4 million. And I mean, I can see it because, the countries need them back. They need to put them back in to, and I get thinking, what if my Zim is all bogus? What if this is all bogus? But then I get thinking, well, you know what? It's probably the other stuff that's not going to be. So, do I want to break the bank? No. But do I want to get what I got coming? Because, see, I give up a lot to buy this currency. I give up going out to drink. I give up going out to eat. I give up buying lotto tickets. I give up going out and buying, the scratch-off tickets. Anything that was off of the ordinary of spending money, I give it up. Started cooking at home. If I wanted to drink beer, me and Ron drank beer right here in the house. We did what we needed to do so we could set ourselves up. But it's not just us we're looking to set up. It's all the people that we can help. And I've been thinking a lot, I want to rebuild my town here. But to be honest with you, there's a lot of a-holes in my town. And I don't know if they're going to allow it because there's a lot of the people that kind of run the town there, they're so in love with themselves, So it may be that I just go buy some farmland and I'll just put homes on that farmland, and I won't call it a town, but I'll give people a place to live and jobs to work and take care of a lot of people. And that's kind of what I'd like to be my number one project. But I really and truthfully believe my number one project is going to be the kids. The kids, and my number two will be the animals. Because the ideas that I have with the kids, I think it's going to be off the charts. And I think when we get it going, working with the kids, the things that I want to do and Ron wants to do, and I'm sure my brother Russ, when he decides When he sees the money, then he's going to get excited. But I'm sure that when this happens, that we're going to have a lot of people working. But see, I don't want to just do this for the kids here. I want to do it for all the kids in the United States of America. And when we get that going and we get it rolling, because I might look at Joe Phillips, or I might look at Janet, or I might look at Bobo, or Myrna, or anyone on here and say, hey, where do you live? Because I need a leader to overlook your state. And so I'm going to look for at least 50 to 100 leaders that will overlook each state. Now, if we go into Canada as a state, if we go into Australia as a state, if we go into Mexico, then we're going to need even more. But see, my goal is to get every kid a home. And if we can't get them a home right away, we're going to put them in a place where the workers are not going to be these grumpy old women or these grumpy old men that the only thing they're doing it for is because they need money. It's going to be happy-go-lucky people who love kids and who really have no one in their family at the time. And these kids are going to become their family. And now they're going to have a family. We will build buildings and places for these kids, playgrounds. They will have presents on their birthdays at Christmas time. They will have good food to eat. They will be able to act like a normal kid. We will teach them how to play baseball and basketball, how to jump rope, how to skip, just things that kids need to learn. They will not be put in a foster home where the state pays money to people that don't give a rat's behind for these kids. All they're doing it for is their money. No kids under our supervision will be hurt or taken advantage of again. And if someone tries it, they will be dealt with. That's my passion. And I really believe that. And with what I want to do for animals, is such a passion. I know there's a lot of people, well, we got to rebuild the United States. We got to rebuild the world. There's a lot of people that can do that. I'm going to concentrate on the main two plus my town. And when I get my town rebuilt, I want to go into other small towns around here that are old and small like my town. And I want to put a gas station and a store and things in their town. So the older people, and yes, when you get on the beds, you're not going to be old, but still there's going to be something right there. You need a loaf of bread. Boom, you just go to the store and get it. I'm tired of the people who's supposed to be our heroes, supposed to be taking care of us. Every time I see certain people speak, everything is going down. Eggs have. I actually seen where I could have got a dozen eggs the other day for $2.79. But they keep saying gas is going down. Everybody keeps saying gas is going down. But I just went and put 35. I had an eighth of a tank of gas in my tank today. I put $35 of gas in my tank, and
By the way,
it didn't even bring it up to 3/4 of a tank. What?
Papa G said, if Boulevard is 10 cents, you can have all this.
Oh, Papa G, you got a lot of Boulevard, huh? Papa G is only hoping for 10 cents.
And it's supposed to be here 4 to 8,000.
And like I said, we just heard today. I really wish I could. I thought I had sent that over to Reed tonight, but I'm not seeing it. Does anybody remember if that was on our Telegram? Because that was where I was getting my stuff today. But
I thought it was on yesterday.
it might have. Ron said he thought it was yesterday. It might have been.
You sent it to me. So yeah, it should be.
I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. Let me take a quick look again. Okay, that's not it. The heck? I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's this. No. Here's one though that Ron sent me over. Forbes predicts XRP to be worth 60,000 once more. So that's like 3 different spots today. I've heard that have said that we're going to hit 60,000. Can you imagine? I mean, this girl last night on that show got 3,500 given to her, and people complaining they didn't have no money. Let me see real quick if I can find that.
That could be the best guy in the world.
Tulsi Gabbard has announced the release of the promised MLK Jr. files. That's interesting. Here's something that Margot sent over, guys. And I'm going to read it to you, just what it says here. And I know what she's talking about because we've talked about the 13 months instead of 12. She said, the day out of time, July 25th, is called the day out of time since it is the accumulation of the 13th moon. Calendar year originated from the MAYAN science of time. It closes 13 moons of 28 days equals 364 days. And remember, they said they was going to put that one more day in there. But they said it was going to be New Year's, Ron. But it's actually going to be April 1st.
I can't remember what it is. Or something like that.
Okay. Here's something that I found interesting, guys. Hidden word spells mortgage. But if you spell mortgage and you split it, it says MORT/GAGE. And naturally, they would have to interrupt me. Death pledge. Government. GOVERN/ MENT. Control mind. Understand. UNDER/ STAND, to stand beneath authority. Department. DEPART/ MENT, separation of the mind. Submission. SUB/ MISSION, yield authority. Patient. No taking it apart, just leaving it the same way it looks. PATIENT, one who suffers. Disease. DIS/EASE, lack of ease or harmony. You know, it's just someone putting together something. And I mean, it makes a little sense, but here's one with a hat and the worst president in the world behind him saying, game over. Thank you for playing. There's one saying that Canada will be the 51st state. But that what I'm looking for, I'm just not finding it. So I'm going to go back since we were late getting started and we're already 45 minutes into tonight's show. I'm not going to keep you hanging on. But here is a video that was sent to me. And it's by a guy who just got a little white mustache, comes down like this, a little white goatee, wears a black sweatshirt, calls himself Big Daddy. He's got some very good information. It might be something you might be interested in looking at. Here's something. The hat confirms RV, 48 hours, exchange, go live. Now, I seen this earlier this afternoon. So if he really did this, we're looking at less than 48 hours, the RV is supposed to go live. Oh, this was something someone sent me to read. It was something from Mike Barra, but I have to click on it to go to it, and I got kicked out of his channel. And I found out why. I got kicked out because I found out that he is very good friends with Mark Z. And I got nothing against Mark. I like Mark. I just don't like the things he's done. But that's me. Here's a picture of our president, and he says, they said he would never seriously run for president. He ran. They said he would never be the Republican nominee. He was. They said he would never win the presidency. He won. They said he would never make America great again. And he is. I'm DAMN proud of my president. Let's see what restored. Oh, no, we do have something here. Well, there was something down here. I haven't read this, so this came in on the 19th, 2025. The banks are panicking. The fiat system is dead. No matter how much they lie, as of May 1, 2025, redemption centers are fully operational, secured by military oversight, and processing gold-backed transitions through the quantum financial systems. This is no longer a theory. It is happening. The old system has collapsed, and every desperate attempt by the cabal to cover it up is failing. Global military units led by the HATS Alliance have raided hundreds of elite-controlled vaults in just weeks. Stolen gold, off-ledger notes, ritual finance files. It's all being seized and authenticated through light intelligent tech and redirected into the QFS. These vaults weren't hidden in banks. They were buried beneath mountains, Vatican catacombs, and former NATO bases. The illusion of elites' financial dominance has been shattered. If you still got money in legacy banks, know this: over 12,000 branches have closed in 30 days. Not downsized, not restructured, shut down, disconnected from the QFS grid. The dollar you know is corpse. The only access to real sovereign wealth now flows through the redemption centers, and you must be verified, scanned, and approved to receive USTN backed by Cabal Gold. Goes on to say a few other things here, but I did want to go a little bit more into this gentleman, this Big Daddy. This gentleman, I'll show you a picture of him right here. It's that gentleman right there, black hat. In this video, he talks about how we worked ourselves. Sometimes our fingers would bleed, our bones would ache. We was in total agony. And everything that we went through while we did this, they was taking our tax dollars and they were building cities where they could live forever underground. But a lady, and I'm not going to mention her name, a lady blew the whistle on them, showed the right people where they were. We're not talking about spending a few billion. We're not talking about spending $100 billion or 500 billion. We're talking about them taking the money over our lifetimes and dealing with everything as to where trillions and trillions of dollars. They have roads, they have cities, they have better living conditions than what we have here. And their goal was to make things disappear here, take everything they could until the heat got on us so bad that you couldn't survive. And then they were going to go underneath and live a long, long life. That was their plan until this very brave woman stuck up. And if you get a chance to watch that video, you need to. If you're on Messenger, I can send it over to you if you want. But I wanted to talk about that because, see, to me, that lady's a true hero. Was she involved with it? Maybe she was, but at least she had the common sense when the time was right. What good would it have did her to come out and told people 20 years ago they were doing this? Nobody would have listened. The brats were still in charge. We had to get a person in there, and when you look at people such as Abraham Lincoln, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, when you look at Martin Luther King, the one president, Ronald Reagan, and now the hat. When you look at all these, what happened? They stood up to the cabal. They stood up to these terrible, terrible people. And all people want to do is talk about how bad they are, how terrible they are. But yet, they're the ones that stood up to them. And each and every one of them was either murdered or tried to be. Every one of them, they tried to take every one of them out. But that's when eyes started to open. With these beds, they say that there's people out there that are they really gone? We're going to find out. They could have been living on these beds for years and years. I mean, I'm a believer. I want to believe. And what if Honest Abe, sure, he would be old, but remember, with these beds, they say we can live to be 200 or 300 years old. What if he was able to get on one when he went into hiding? If he did. This is all speculation, guys. This is all just something for me to tell you, to get your minds thinking, to forget about we need to cross the finish line. We do. But we only need to cross the finish line once. We only need to go to the Redemption Center once. We only need to get our quantum financial money given to us once. We only need to go to the gold band standard once. We only need to get all 209 countries together and declare there will never be another war. We only need to do it once. And I believe we're going to do it pretty soon because we've been hearing a lot about August 1st. And when I first started hearing a lot about August 1st, and then I heard August 1st, and then I heard August 1st, the hat says everybody will become very wealthy in the United States. And then he said something about August 15th, and then I get a letter from Julia, the girl in the Ukraine today, and she tells me that this crazy lady in her country, this lady that everybody thinks is this and this and this, she told her, she said, wait till August 15th. All wars will be over. Everything will be taken care of. And we will live happily ever after. Makes you wonder, don't it? Makes me happy. I'm hoping and praying that it's true. I got so excited that I normally wait to write her about 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. But I wrote her like 3 paragraphs already, and I'll finish the letter later. Here's Restored Republic, 21st of July, 2025, with Judy Bidington. Obi faces charges of treason. Alberta and Saskatchewan to join U.S. Now, how is that going to work? If they come over as individuals, then they'll be like the first 51st and 52nd state. Oh, Ron said that's what they said in the Restored Republic. That's what I'm reading. But it didn't say that. It just said they was going to do that. Obi faces treason charges for allegedly manufacturing intelligence to justify the 2060 Russian hoax against President the Hat. Alberta and Saskatchewan taking steps to join the U.S. as the 51st and 52nd state. See, I asked the question, all I had to do was read down 2 more lines and I'd got the answer. What we think we know as of Monday, 21st July 2025, Sunday, 20 July 2025, Tulsi Gabbard concluding that it was Obi who personally orchestrated the plot against the Hat, accusing the Obi administration of committing treasonous acts against the Hat by using manufacturing intelligence to justify the 2016 RUSSIA interference narrative. Sunday, 20th July 2025. I've already read this about Alberta and Saskatchewan. Sunday, 20th July 2025, which is 11/11 on the Ethiopian calendar, and the day that the Hat signed a Genius Act, which strips powers of the government, the same as JFK did in Executive Order 11110 back on 4 June 1963. Sunday, 20th July 2025, the 2020 election was hijacked in full-blown domestic coup by the deep state. Sunday, 20th July 2025 has declared war on the soul as U.S. bioweapons insider has confirmed a classified program to erase spirituality, morality, and divine resistance from the American population using weaponized chemtrails. As of July 18, 2025, nearly 3,000 deep state operatives have been removed from the U.S. State Department. Sunday, 20th July 2025, Hawaii in chaos after a 7.5 magnitude earthquake caused by tsunami watch. Sunday, 20th July 2025, President the Hat. A total of over 4,700 National Guard troops are on the ground. A lot of the rest of it I've talked about. Sunday, 20th July 2025, Wolverine. There is a meeting in Zurich, Monday, 21st July. Sunday, 20th, 2025, Big G shows Intel channel. I'm watching Forex for notifications starting at 5 p.m. On Tuesday, 29th July 2025, Junior and Princess D will expose everything on JFK Jr. on Telegram. Warren Buffett has sold off a huge amount of stock and positions in several major banks. Okay, guys, we're almost an hour. I'm going to call it a night. I want to thank everybody for coming on. All my moderators, thank you. I seen you did have a few people that you had to deal with tonight, but it wasn't too bad. For everybody else that came on, we can only hope and pray. We can only hope and pray. Keep Stephanie and her family and all the families in your prayers. Don't so much pray for the money, but pray for what the money can do to get homes for every man, woman, and child in the world. And that's where we need to be. We need to get everybody off the streets. It's time, as the expression goes, it's time to quit pussyfooting around. It's time to put the hammer down and get going. And I, for one, will back it. I don't just play the song to make it act like I'm a patriot. I'm a true patriot, and I'm going to see this to the end. I'm hoping the end comes, and then I'm going to be around to do a lot of things, and I'm looking for people who want to work with us. So with that, good night. God bless. Ron and myself love you all. We're proud to have you as part of our family as Patriot 5 and Patriot 6, and we will talk to you soon.